Curling irons and wands. Chances are you have one of these in your hairstyling arsenal, and in this video, we're gonna teach you the difference between the two looks you can get with a wand and a curling iron, how to use them, and most importantly, how to style them with your extensions to look natural and effortless. I, of course, prepped my hair with heat protectant first and have divided my hair into two sections on each side to make my styling easy. So on this side, I'm gonna be demonstrating wand curls, alternating direction on this side of my head, and curling iron curls on this other side, going the same direction so that you can see the difference. So let's start with my curling wand first.
So Jenna is starting with the bottom section in front of her face. You can see she's taking a longer section so that she can spiral it around the wand. You'll notice that she's pulling that hair away from her face and keeping her fingers at a distance from that wand. That's gonna help prevent her fingers from getting hot or burning them. And she got a beautiful spiral, and you can see it's going away from her face, so that's keeping away hairs from going into her eyes or getting stuck on her lashes. It also helps prevent, like, when the wind blows, if that hair is already coming into your face, it's more likely to get stuck on like your chapstick or your lip gloss.
I hate that.
It's the worst. And then you start eating it, and
I hate eating my hair, but I do it all the time.
Yeah. So you'll see in this section now she's going towards her face. So she's alternating those sections, and that's gonna give her a lot of volume and a lot of different dimension. And she's just alternating back and forth. So on this side, she's going to go away from her face, again, keeping her fingers away from that tip of the wand to make sure she doesn't burn them or get too hot or anything.
And one note about leaving the ends out, this look is actually really in right now to have your ends a little bit straighter when you curl. So I'm holding it a few inches away. A lot of women tell me, like, I'm afraid of burning my fingers. And can relate, I've done that once or twice. I totally get it. But the way I avoid that is actually two ways. You know, I leave my fingers far enough away on the ends so that I'm not anywhere close to that barrel. A lot of women try to get it too close, and that's when they burn their fingers. But I'm also clumsy. So my super secret tip is I like to take heat protectant and put it on my fingertips. And that also prevents your fingers from getting burnt by that. So let's see here. Did I miss anything, Michaela? Grab it for me.
One right here.
Grab it. Perfect.
So you'll see how she's got that nice spiral through there, and then right on the ends it's a little bit straighter, and that is the look that's trending right now. You'll also notice that she's staying pretty far away from the root of her hair, and that's to stay off of where her extensions are attached. You want to make sure you're staying far enough away from that attachment point, especially if you have the beaded methods, whether it's the beaded weft like she has or a micro bead like I have. When you get really close to those beads, they can get really hot and they can burn your hair, of course. And then with the tape ends, if you get too close, you can actually melt that medical adhesive where your hair is attached, and that can cause them to slip out, get super sticky, and that's no fun for you to deal with, and then you'll have to try to come in. And we do offer quick maintenance, but try to stay away from where your extensions are attached. And then with the fusions as well, you want to stay far enough away from your roots so you're not getting those hot again, because that also causes some slippage.
Now that I'm in the front, I want to talk real quick about where to start curling. I usually ask my clients, you know, what is your favorite feature on your face? And I like to start curling there. So I like my eyes, my lashes on fleek today. So I start curling right about there, and that sort of draws the eye right here, you know, cheekbones, if you like your lips, your eyes, whatever, start curling there. That's my favorite thing. And again, I'm always curling away from the face and incorporating my top section of hair and my extension together.
Yeah, so the other thing too, again, she's alternating to give her a lot of that dimension. And just like Jenna said too, finding that perfect facial feature is gonna determine where you start that curl. So you can see the bend is right at her eye. I like to start my bend a little bit lower, and that's also because I don't like a ton of volume on the top of my hair. So by starting your curl a little higher, you'll get more height on your hair. By starting a little lower, it'll be more straight and flat, and then a lot of volume at the ends of your hair.
I'd also like to point out that I started wrapping my hair kind of closer to the top of my barrel here, and then getting a little bit at the ends of my hair, reaching the ends of the curling iron here. So letting it fall out. And again, I'm being really careful to not end up, you know, touching my hair too much while it's hot.
Yes. Yeah, you want to make sure your curls cool down completely before you do any type of finger combing, any type of brushing, because that curl, once it's completely cooled down, that means it's getting locked in and it'll last you for days. I've gotten my curls to last like 5 or 6 days before. I know some of our other stylists and guests have gotten their hair to last a week, maybe a little longer. So make sure you let your hair completely cool down. Don't touch it, don't finger comb it, don't brush it until it's cool to the touch.
Okay, so also notice the size of my sections. They're decently small. You don't want to take too large of sections. You're not going to get as much of a curl. I really like kind of a very loose, beachy curl myself. So, and my hair is quite long with my extensions. So taking smaller sections like this is perfect.
Yeah, and you also want to remember there's different sizes of wands specifically. You've got the larger barrel that will give you an even bigger beach wave, as if you like just woke up with a bun. And then you get smaller, that'll give you a tighter curl. And of course you have the tapered, which gets smaller at the bottom, which will give you that tight curl right at the bottom. But like we said, Jenna likes to leave her ends out so it has that straighter look, because that's what's in right now. You'll see it all over Pinterest.
Yes, it's almost that like I braided my hair and went to the beach and then I got home and here it is. Kind of that same look. It's very in right now. I think carefree and fun hair is the way to go. I mean, that's exactly what we need right now. What do you think, Michaela? Is that my last one? Did I get it?
2. There's one right there.
One
you
there,
want to split it in half or keep it?
Okay, perfect.
That's a good. Yeah.
All right, almost done. It's so easy. That's what I like about wands. Very little coordination involved.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for a lot of our guests and just people who are trying to curl their hair is they're worrying about how the twist is on the actual barrel. Yeah. So Jenna's really not paying much attention to how the twist is. Is it flat? Is it thick and curled? So she's just wrapping it right around the barrel without any care. And this is that loose, fun, beachy wave. Nothing super sleek and yeah.
Just like I like it.
Yes.
I like it casual and fun and youthful and like I'm on vacation. So last one, let it fall. I'm gonna let this side cool down completely before I like to rake my fingers through it. All right. Now that my hair is completely cool to the touch, the curls are set. So I like to go in with a texturizing spray. My favorite texturizing spray is Bedroom Hair from Kevin Murphy. It gives your hair a nice, sexy, soft, fun, fluffy look. So I like to hold it out, give it a nice light spray. It smells so good.
It does.
I just love it. It smells so much. And then I like to rake my fingers through my hair softly, kind of like shaking the curls out, breaking them up, giving it that really beautiful texture. I love volume. Yeah, I love volume. I get a little fluff, you know, kind of detail out this front piece and boom.
Yeah.
So fun. I love this look. All right, now for my curling iron side on this side of my hair, all going the same direction, and you're really gonna get to see the difference in the look here. So, a curling iron, different from a curling wand. Curling wand, it does not have the clamp on it, and this does. So here's what I don't wanna see you do. And I only say this because this is how I curled my hair for a long time. I see a lot of people try to clamp it down at the bottom, get those ends in, and then roll up like that. No, 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 no. So first, we're gonna start kind of like we did with the wand. We're gonna start closer towards our hair up here. Clamp it. turn it, and I'm kind of opening and closing my barrel as I roll down. So this is a flat wrap. This is a little different than what I was doing with my wand, where I was just kind of like wrapping it around. This is where the hair is staying flat, so that curl is gonna end up being a little bit more even throughout the barrel. Another reason why you start at the top and roll your way down is that way your ends are getting the heat for the least amount of time. And that's so important. You don't end up burning your hair. So let it fall out. let it cool. Don't touch it. I joke, I'm like, this looks little house on the prairie right now, and that's fine. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. And so I curl away from my face. Always curl away from your face. And for the next section, I'm also curling away from my face, just like that. Doing the same thing, gently opening and closing my clamp as I roll down.
Yeah, another great reason to start a little bit higher up is to ensure that whole section is getting the heat onto it and getting that perfect uniform curl. Whereas her wand side was a little bit more distributed, more random. This is gonna be more uniform, more even, more glamorous, not as like beachy, fun, like on a vacation type of look.
This is kind of like a little more of a Hollywood glam look. I really like this too. And at the end, not to spoil it, but I'm actually gonna brush it out, and that's going to make the waves fall into each other. And that's gonna be really pretty. Versus having the curls going alternating directions, you end up with them separating more. So if you don't want your curls to fall into each other and you kind of end up with that one big monster curl in your hair, try alternating your directions. That's the secret right there. So once that's done, not touching it, not touching it.
Let it cool.
Let it cool. Take my next section down. See how easy it is? It's like you're not fighting it when you just have it already clipped up ahead of time. It's so easy. It's honestly the way to go.
It saves you a ton of time. That way you're also not trying to fight, like, which one do I need to curl? Which one do I need to keep straight for now? You just curl the bottom half, take the next section, and then you curl the next top half.
Yep. I'm gonna also start this one about eye level too. So I'm gonna clamp it right about there and roll. If you end up with like kind of those bumps in your hair, you're probably starting curling right up at the top. And you know, if your hairline is your best feature, go ahead. But if you wanted to start at eye level or cheek level, you know, hold it out about here and then start curling. So I'm kind of like using my thumb to sort of open and close that until I feel that hair kind of fall out of the section. It's really nice. And I wanted to talk about one thing that's super important. Some of our guests have really short natural hair, like really short layers, like this short. So if you're one of those girls, I recommend you start curling your hair lower. If you start curling high up where those short layers are, they're gonna just end up sticking out.
Right.
So if your short layer is here, start curling down here. And that will blend everything a little bit more easily for you.
Yeah, because when that short layer is being bent into that curling iron, that's where it just like flicks the end straight up and out of your hair. And that's how you can start telling that you're wearing extensions. So starting lower helps that still to lay nice and flat, so it still blends seamlessly into your extensions with your natural hair, but you're still getting that nice curl.
Absolutely. Yep, I'm just kind of opening and closing really fast. Just like that until it falls out, and then move on. Still not touching it. I'm not touching it.
That's the biggest thing to make your curls last, and the most important thing. A lot of times you'll be like, oh, it's too bouncy right now, let me brush it through.
Yeah.
That's gonna make it probably not even last till the evening of that same day. So letting it cool, once it's cool to the touch, most times I'll do my hair first in the morning, and then I'll get dressed, and then I'll do my makeup. That way I'm giving my hair at least 15 to 30 minutes to cool down completely. And then sometimes I'll even brush it in my car once I arrive to work, so I'm letting it cool even longer. So that's, yeah, letting it cool is the biggest thing to make your curls last.
You know, another thing I love about extensions, Michaela?
What's that, Jenna?
It's that they hold a curl.
They really do.
I've had guests with long hair who like their hair, but it doesn't curl. And they get extensions so it holds a curl.
Yeah, just even for just the added volume, if it's a couple pieces here and there. I definitely noticed that when I first got extensions. My hair used to be down to my waist and it would only last till like lunchtime.
Yeah.
And now with extensions, I get my curls to last like 5+ days. And I'm not doing anything super special but wearing extensions. And it's holding my curls.
There's nothing worse than sad, droopy curls. They make me sad. But at the end of the day, especially if you have a special occasion.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, all sad. What are some other things you think that cause people's curls to come out? I would think
Heat protectant.
yeah, not using a product to prep your hair.
Yeah.
Curling your hair naked with nothing on it, I think is huge.
Yeah. The heat protectant helps, one, protect your natural hair and the extensions from getting dried out, burnt, causing any type of damage. But it also is super important on making sure your curls last. If you're not using the proper products, your curls will fall out a little bit sooner than they would if you did.
Absolutely. What else do you think? Like no hairspray, nothing to seal?
Yeah, that you want to make sure, it's almost like painting your nails, where the heat protectant's the base coat and the after spray, whether it be like a hairspray, a texturizing spray, that's the top coat. So that's what's really sealing in the deal to make sure your curls are lasting for days, weeks, sometimes even. And then you don't got to wash your hair as much if your curls last all the time.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I love waking up the next day and I'm like, oh, it's perfect.
So fabulous.
I don't have to do anything. Or maybe it's just like I just need to take my wand and curl a few pieces around my face.
Little touch-ups.
A lot of people think that getting hair extensions is going to add so much more styling time to your life. It doesn't.
Saves you time.
It saves you time. If you can wake up and your hair looks good, oh my gosh, you don't have to style it every day. Yeah, style it on Sunday and go the whole week with it. I mean, what could be better than that, for sure?
Yeah.
Now that this side is cool to the touch, my curls are completely set, I'm gonna go in with a light hold hairspray. My favorite hairspray is Session Spray Flex from Kevin Murphy. I love this hairspray because it doesn't make your hair crunchy. I hate that. It's crunchy, it's soft, it's light, and it even adds shine. So I'm going to give my hair almost like a light dusting up and down motion. Not like the 80s where you go crazy with it and use way too much. One thing I will also point out about this hairspray that I love is that the molecules are heavy. So instead of it just floating in the air and staying there for hours and hours making you cough, it falls lightly to the floor and actually stays in your hair. So once my hair has been sprayed, I am gonna go in with my extension brush. I'm gonna hold my hair low ponytail down. You always wanna do this when you brush your extensions, and brush them out. So notice how my hair is gonna form kind of like, almost like one big curl. That's actually the look I'm going for. I want everything to be really soft, really glamorous.
Hollywood vibes.
Hollywood vibes, yes. Oh, I love this look. It's just, I mean, what do you think?
Ooh la la.
Oh, yeah. Brush it out, brush it out. This is the perfect look to, do a little clip in your hair or something to kind of clip that out of the way. It's very cute. And so notice the vibe. So different on this side than this side.
Yeah.
So this was with a wand and I alternated directions. This is with a curling iron and I went all the same direction. So now those curls fall and lay into each other just like that. It's very glamorous. So now that you know the difference between your curling iron and your curling wand looks, as well as alternating and going in the same direction with your curl, you're ready to start having some fun and experiment at home with your hot tools.